guys, welcome to another video. This one is going to be top 20 stars who destroyed their careers on live TV. Link to the video will be in the description. Please like, comment, subscribe. Follow all my other social medias. It's all going to be down below. Let's get it in. Oh my god.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks
Sounded
for the
like
top
a cat
20
was
stars
dying.
who destroyed their careers on live TV.
The first runner-up is Colombia. It is my mistake. Still a great night. Please don't hold it against the ladies.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most memorable public figures who ruined their careers with a controversial remark or appearance on live television. We'll also be including stars who made a comeback following their disastrous showing. Do you remember watching any of these live? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Iggy Azalea. Now, we're not saying that this event was the sole reason for Iggy Azalea's
I am not a fan of her.
but it
I don't even know what the
didn't
hell
help.
happened.
Azalea was all the rage in 2014, and people everywhere were singing along to hits like Fancy and Problem. To celebrate her newfound success, Dancing with the Stars invited her to perform Fancy on the live finale.
I'm so sorry, but there's something wrong with my ears.
Unfortunately, the potential disasters of live TV struck, and Azalea bungled the start of the performance. According to her, there was an issue with the playback in her earpiece. Unfortunately, this incident tarnished an otherwise great year.
I just can't worry about no haters, gotta stay on my grind. Now tell me who that, then do that.
Furthermore, unrelated problems with her record label caused Azalea's career to slow. She's currently on an extended hiatus.
I'm no expert, but I was looking very closely. There's nothing wrong with her ear.
Oh, no.
That's a fine ear right there.
Number 19, Jamie Kennedy. Nothing screams the 90s quite like Jamie Kennedy. He enjoyed success
I have
throughout
no
the
idea
late
what happened
90s
with
and
him.
early 2000s, notably starring in 3 Scream films, Romeo and Juliet, and The Jamie Kennedy Experiment. And then came First Night 2013 with Jamie Kennedy.
Where's our stage manager?
Jamie, don't talk into the mic. They can hear you.
Now, the comedian's career was mostly over by then anyway, but this was the final nail in the coffin. It was easily one of the worst New Year's Eve specials of all time.
Are we back? Are we back?
The broadcast was an epic disaster plagued with embarrassing technical issues, a bizarrely confrontational Kennedy, and an onstage brawl.
God bless you, and we'll see you in 2024.
Good night.
Bye. There's a fight. It's ending with a fight.
There was even a mistimed countdown that brought in the new year too late. They couldn't even get that right.
What's your resolution for 2013?
Just get rid of all my haters.
Number 18, Steven Seagal. Saturday Night Live has a real propensity
Well, the
for
guy
ending
wouldn't know what was
careers.
going on
He
there.
kept saying, I've never seen your show. I don't know what you do here. Like, really? You've never seen Saturday Night Live?
Steven Seagal was an up-and-coming action star in the early 90s, having starred in a string of hit movies. To capitalize on his newfound success, he hosted Saturday Night Live on the night of April 20th, 1991.
It's great to be here in New York, and it's great to be opening up Saturday Night Live. Most of you probably know me from my action-adventure films.
Unfortunately, his appearance was anything but good.
Before you make this rash decision, perhaps you should see what you're up against.
Yeah, take a gander, Steven.
According to certain SNL employees, including David Spade, Seagal was uncooperative.
And they want to fight him. Hey, we'll take you on. He goes, if I do it, I have to beat them up.
Some have even regarded him as the show's worst host of all time.
He enters the banquet room and starts beating, it's live, and he's beating them up and throwing them around the room, and it goes on for like 8 minutes.
A few more hits followed Seagal's SNL appearance, but he was soon relegated to cheap, direct-to-video action films that no one watched. Maybe nobody wanted to work with him after this?
Then, at the very end, he turned as...
Sorry, that was Lana.
What I'm built for is defending things that needed defending. All the best things I've done in my life have been in service of that.
FX is The Old Man. Premieres June 16th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
And the audience is mystified.
Number 17, AJ Clemente. Maybe he wasn't a huge star at the time, but news anchor
I don't even
AJ
know who
Clemente
AJ Clemente
has since become an
is.
internet sensation.
Were you aware that you were on the air?
I had no clue. I had no...
Maybe you don't know his name, but you certainly know this clip. Clemente was a new co-anchor at KFYR-TV, a news channel based out of North Dakota.
Gay. Shit.
Good evening, I'm Van Tu. You may have seen our newest AJ on NBC North Dakota News.
During his debut broadcast on April 21st, 2013, he let a string
I've
of
never
nasty
seen this
swear
clip.
words fly just as the opening titles were coming to an end. So his career as an anchor was effectively over before it even began.
Thanks, Van. I'm very excited. I graduated from West Virginia University, and I'm used to, from being from the East Coast.
Clemente was promptly suspended and let go the next day. The incident made him a national celebrity, and he even appeared on Late Show with David Letterman after the host mocked him in a top 10 list.
I'm trying to get you the job back in Bismarck. Forget about ESPN. That ain't gonna happen.
Number 16, Janet Jackson. This is arguably the biggest career-ending controversy in live TV history. You all know the story. Jackson and Justin Timberlake were performing at Super Bowl 38 when Justin ripped away her costume and revealed her breast.
Let me rock your body. Come on and dance with me.
This was certainly not Jackson's fault, but everyone acted like it was.
There could have been ways that I could have gone about it, handled it better.
Hollywood all but disowned her and pretended that she never existed, and her subsequent album and singles were blacklisted from radio. Even mega conglomerates got in on the boycott, with an executive at Viacom stating that the higher-ups are still pissed at her.
The FCC received more than 500,000 complaints about that broadcast. CBS was fined $550,000, and then the NFL was asked to refund the $10 million that they had been given to the halftime show sponsor.
Luckily, the heat has since died down, and Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019.
I'm here tonight to induct the legendary Queen of Black Girl Magic into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Miss Janet Demita Jo Jackson.
Number 15, Jenny Slate. This comedian first came
I
to national
don't even
attention
know who that
while
is.
starring as a cast member on Saturday Night Live. Slate made her debut in the 35th season, which began in September of 2009.
Welcome to Biker Chick Chat. I'm Dawn. I do me.
Unfortunately, she committed the cardinal sin of live TV and accidentally dropped the F-bomb during her very first episode.
You stood up for yourself, and I love you for that. You're in my heart, babe. You're in my heart.
This is a major no-no on Saturday Night Live, and though it reportedly wasn't the main reason for her firing, she didn't return the following season. It looked like Slate had blown her major chance at becoming a comedy star. Luckily, she proceeded to land major roles on Bob's Burgers and Parks and Recreation, both of which have allowed her to become a household name.
On the day that I got fired, I ordered like 4 pizzas and like ripped into a bong and was just like, well, I don't know, man.
Number 14, John Travolta.
Suddenly, a page, an assistant to you, grabbed...
Now, as far as John Travolta goes, he had some really bad movies. Really bad. He had like, I forget the name of it. I think it was like Battlefield or something like that. And that was really bad. It was him and Forrest Whitaker. They played like these aliens, and it had Barry Pepper in it. That's such a bad movie.
Me out of the seat and said, "You're on in a minute and 15 seconds or something." He said, "Really?" I said, "What happened to 15 minutes?"
When the 86th Academy Awards rolled around, we were all excited to hear Idina Menzel sing Let It Go. After all, the Frozen song had a grip on pretty much everyone, but the performance ended up being memorable for something that happened before she even opened her mouth.
They said, "Oh, by the way, we've changed Idina's name to phonetic spelling." I went, but what do you mean? Go!
John Travolta was in charge of her introduction, but the name that came out of his mouth was one nobody had ever heard before.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
The mispronunciation was humiliating to say the least, and Travolta was relentlessly mocked online. He subsequently apologized, and it's been said that Menzel harbors no ill will toward him for the incident.
Wickedly talented Idina Menzel.
You got it!
Is that right?
Travolta's career recovered, but he certainly heard about Adele Dazeem for quite some time.
It's not like it's gonna follow me around for the rest of my life or anything.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Number 13, Steve Harvey. For a while there, Steve Harvey was the biggest laughingstock in America.
It was the most gut-wrenching walk I've ever had in my life.
But you know how social media is. We all chuckled for a while and then promptly moved on. So did Harvey.
These women have been working for this moment their entire lives. And now it's time to find out our winner.
One of the busiest TV hosts of our time, he was hired to MC Miss Universe 2015 in Las Vegas. In a moment that lives in infamy, Harvey accidentally crowned Miss Columbia the winner.
Columbia!
Regardless, the incident was relentlessly mocked on social media, and the host's reputation was briefly sullied.
And the guy said, "We'll straighten it out in the media tomorrow." And I said, "Nah, man, I'm gonna go do it now."
Luckily, he weathered the storm and continues to enjoy a successful career. Number 12, Robin Thicke. This musical artist had been in the industry for years, but he didn't become a household name until Blurred Lines in 2013. Somewhat paradoxically, the song that made Thicke's career was also the one that ended it. The track received a good amount of criticism for its questionable lyrics and racy music video, but things really flew off the rails when he performed it with Miley Cyrus at the MTV Video Music Awards.
They do not want you to hear this.
Oh my god, Otto's actually legit. I don't know,
This performance is legendary, just not in a good way. It immediately became an internet sensation and was widely criticized for being way too crass and raunchy. For a while, it effectively killed Thicke's career. However, he has since enjoyed a resurgence by appearing as a judge on The Masked Singer. Number 11, Fergie. By 2018, Fergie was already on her way out of the mainstream limelight. The Black Eyed Peas were in the midst of an extended hiatus, and Fergie hasn't had a top 20 single as a solo artist since 2007.
I mean, everybody knows the situation that she had where she urinated on herself. And she was just like, hey, it happens. Something like that. So I don't know if that's what this is talking about, or it's going to be that horrible, anthem song.
Despite this, she was chosen to sing the national anthem at the 2018 NBA All-Star Game. Unfortunately, her performance was a little shaky and inappropriately sensual, and many people in attendance could barely contain their laughter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
I don't know.
So
Alright, so she should have just sang it to showcase her singing ability and not sound like a dying cat.
at the twilight's last gleaming.
Naturally, it also made the rounds online, and Fergie became a viral national laughingstock.
O'er the ramparts we watched.
It served as the final nail in Fergie's coffin, and she hasn't been heard from since. Number 10, Mariah Carey. It's hard to end a legend like Mariah Carey, but her appearance on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve in 2016 nearly did it. This was a monumental disaster of a performance.
Drunk or something?
Like Iggy Azalea, Carey's earpiece began to malfunction, causing her to go out of sync with the backing track.
So she not only could not hear herself, she couldn't hear the music.
Unlike Azalea, Carey didn't exactly handle it in a professional manner.
I'm trying to be a good sport here.
She simply walked around the stage while passive-aggressively making excuses and complaining about the lack of a sound check. To make matters even more hilarious, the dancers soldiered on and continued their choreographed routine while the singer pouted.
We're missing some of this logo, but it is what it is.
The moment definitely tarnished her reputation, though we're not sure that anything could ever break it for good.
You just don't get any better.
Number 9. Charles Rocket. Charles Rocket had a budding career on Saturday Night Live in the early 80s.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's just great.
Let's see, you're the one...
Go kind of a cross between Chevy Chase and Bill Murray.
He was one of the major players in the 1980-81 season, and he became popular for his impressions, his recurring character Phil Lively, and a regular segment called The Rocket Report.
Good evening, I'm Charles Rocket with Weekend Update.
Unfortunately, Rocket dropped an F-bomb during the February 21st, 1981 episode, breaking strict broadcast standards.
Oh man, it's the first time I've ever been shot in my life. I'd like to know who did it.
This, along with the season's negative reputation and critical reception, resulted in Rocket's termination. And while he found some success playing comic foils in various 90s movies, he never quite rose above his status as that guy. What can we say? Hollywood takes swearing and nudity very seriously.
Aren't you gonna invite me in?
Number 8. Paula Deen. Beloved Southern chef Paula Deen found herself in hot water in 2013 when former employee Lisa Jackson sued her for racial and sexual discrimination.
Paula's deposition.
We don't like that racist BS. Get on the stepping with that. We don't like that in these parts.
It's quite appalling to say the least. Under oath, she was asked,
Have you ever used the N-word yourself?
Yes, of course.
It seems so matter-of-fact to her.
According to Jackson, Dean was often derogatory towards African Americans and even wanted to host a plantation-style wedding for her brother, complete with black servants. During the deposition, Paula admitted to using the N-word in the past, further hurting her reputation.
Well then, when did you use it?
Probably in telling my husband.
When you say, oh yeah, I said the N-word in the privacy of my own home and retelling the story to my husband, I'm sorry, that's racist.
She then appeared on Today to smooth things over, but only made the situation worse by playing the victim.
If you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me.
When the whole ordeal was said and done, Paula's best dishes had been canceled, and Dean had lost numerous lucrative partnerships, as all the major corporations had severed their ties.
Everyone should be treated equal, and that's the way I was raised, and that's the way I live my life.
Well, apparently not, since you gotta drop the N-word. Obviously, you don't go around saying, calling white people honky. Right? She ain't doing that. But see, even as a white person, somebody says hunky, I'm just like, whatever, dude. Because there's no power. There's nothing behind it against me. There's nothing there. But when you drop like the N-word towards someone, or even the privacy of your home, there's something there. You know what I mean? Because it's what it's the past history of what it was used as. Now, I'm gonna go on a little rant with this for a little bit. Now, the thing is this: I can understand where a lot of people take it as a racial terminology, but I also understand that there's also a large group of people that take it as like dude. Like me growing up, dude was my kind of word. I still use it to this day. So somebody saying, hey, that's my N, it's the same as saying, hey, that's my dude. But see, the N-word was never part of my vocabulary growing up. My friends never said it. Now what their reasoning was, I can't tell you, because I'm not them. You know what I mean? It just wasn't a thing. Now, there's people growing up now that I can understand if there's a group of, like a white guy with a bunch of black friends, and they all say it and stuff like that, and they give him the pass because they don't see it as the racial term. They see it as a version of my dude. That I don't care. You know what I mean? That's on them. Like, it's not going to bother me. I can understand, that white guy saying it with their group. But I'm saying, like, me or any other white person that grew up outside of that kind of scenario shouldn't say it. Period. So this stupid B, she was saying it because she was racist. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's people that's white now that try to say it, that think they can get away with it, but see, they didn't grow up saying it in that kind of scenario. Even then, like when you're older and you're not with your friends and stuff like that anymore, like you shouldn't say it because it's not accepted, you know, in society, period. Like it's different. There's a different, you know, it's a different environment, different everything. Like you got to grow up and stop using it, period. You know, and I'm not trying to justify white people saying it. I'm just saying, you know, in that kind of scenario, it's understandable. It's just not my thing. And, you know, that's it.
As I read, Paula said that there, you know, said millions of dollars at stake for Paula Deen in today's show interview. So are you here to express what you just said, or are you here to stop the financial bleeding?
Number 7, Brian Williams.
From 1993 to 1999, Brian Williams served as the weekend news anchor on NBC Nightly News before being promoted to head anchor in 2004.
The story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq, when the helicopter we were traveling in was forced down after being hit by an RPG.
He held this position until 2015, when he was brought under fire for lying about an event that occurred to him during the Iraq War.
2 of our 4 helicopters were hit by ground fire, including the one I was in.
No kidding.
RPG and AK-47.
The question, of course, is what exactly happened in those 10 years to make Williams change his story?
According to Williams, a helicopter that he was riding in was taken down by an RPG. Numerous soldiers came forward and claimed that Williams was never part of this group and was in fact 30 minutes behind. They were left insulted by Williams' false story, and he was suspended for 6 months.
I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12 years ago. I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm.
Following this, he was demoted to chief anchor at MSNBC, and his professional credibility was permanently stained.
I hope they know they have my greatest respect, and also now my apology.
Number 6, Howard Dean.
It's amazing how far politics has come since 2004, when a simple scream was all it took to ruin a career forever.
If Howard Dean were running for the 2016 elections, and he would have done that exact same speech, the exact same way, under the exact same conditions, I don't think anybody would have paid any attention to it.
After coming in third in the Iowa Democratic caucuses, Dean made an impassioned and unpresidential speech that ended with him pumping his fist and screaming, "Yeah." This speech effectively ended his presidential campaign, and the speech and the scream were relentlessly mocked by the media and late-night talk show hosts.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House! Ah!
It soon became known as the Dean Scream, and some believe that the endless coverage was a product of media bias against the politician. While Dean later became the chair of the Democratic National Committee, his dreams of becoming president were crushed forever on that fateful day.
And it's going to be one in Colorado, and in Iowa, and North Carolina, and Michigan, and Florida, and Pennsylvania, and then we're going to the White House.
Number 5, Sinead O'Connor.
Nah,
Sinead
I
O'Connor's
knew
career
she was going to be on this
blowing
list.
up in the late 80s
I
and
remember
early
this.
90s. In that time, she released her double platinum album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, and her single, Nothing Compares to You, peaked at number 1 in 17
It's
countries.
such a good song.
It's been 7 hours and 50 days since you took your love away.
However, that all came crumbling down on October 3rd, 1992, when O'Connor appeared on SNL.
While performing, she ripped a photo of Pope John Paul II to protest mistreatment of children within the Catholic Church, and soon she became a public enemy.
And the thing is, it all came out later on to be true. It all was true.
In the victory
of good over evil.
Fight the real enemy.
Nothing Compares to You would be her last #1, and while she continues to release music, she has not had a top 5 single in her native Ireland since 1994. Number 4, Will Smith. No one really cared about the outcomes of the 94th Academy Awards. All they cared.
I just want to say that Chris Rock handled this perfectly. He is such a class act, and he proved why he's a star.
About was that Will Smith casually strolled on stage and slapped Chris Rock directly in the face.
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow!
Rock had made a joke at the expense of Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Smith initially laughed but proceeded to slap Rock for the comment. The audience seemingly believed that it was a scripted bit at first, as they casually laughed at the attack. It wasn't until Smith yelled and cursed at Rock that everyone realized he was dead serious. The resulting silence was painful. No matter what Smith does from here on out, he'll forever be known as the guy who slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Number 3, Kathie Lee Gifford. This event didn't completely kill Gifford's career as a television presenter, as she continued hosting Today until 2019. However, it did seriously tarnish her reputation and caused her great public embarrassment. In 2012, comedian Martin Short appeared on Gifford's show to promote Madagascar 3. During the interview, Gifford praised Short's marriage to Nancy Dolman, unaware that Dolman had passed away from cancer about 2 years earlier.
How many years now for you guys?
We married 36 years. Yeah.
But you're still like in love.
Madly in love. Madly in love.
Short didn't expose the mistake, but it was obvious that the topic of conversation was causing him pain.
Why?
Cute. I'm cute.
Yes, that is true. And you make each other laugh.
I'm sorry, but like if I was married to somebody and somebody made that mistake, I would point it out to them. I don't care if it's live TV. I don't care about your career. You made a mistake, and to me, I took offense to that because my wife passed away. Like, but, you know, again, he probably did it what's best for the show or whatever, you know, and let it go.
He informed Gifford of Dolman's passing during the commercial break and later publicly forgave her. It was a fantastic look for Short and a not so fantastic one for Gifford. Number 2, Milli Vanilli. In 1989, R&B duo Milli Vanilli released Girl You Know It's True, an album that reached #1 and was certified 6 times platinum. They also received 5 straight top 5 singles in the United States, 3 of which topped the chart. However, a huge hiccup occurred on July 21st, 1989, when a live performance for MTV suffered a technical malfunction. The track began to skip, revealing that singer Rob Pilatus was lip-syncing. While this prompted doubts regarding the duo's authenticity, it wasn't until their album was released in America that singer Charles Shaw revealed that his work was being credited to Pilatus and Fab Morvan.
Brad Howell and Sean Davis are the real singers, and I think they should get this credit.
With this, the duo admitted to being frauds, and Milli Vanilli was no more.
We signed a recording contract which we thought was, you know, to be singing on the record.
Yeah, but he had a bad reputation for it. He had a bad reputation.
Well, I don't
Money?
know that.
You didn't know it?
No. I was 18 years old, coming from France. I signed a recording contract that was in German.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Ashley Simpson.
Oh
this was
yeah, I
arguably
remember
the
this one
biggest
too.
gaffe in live television history, and the blame pretty clearly fell on Simpson. While performing on SNL in 2004, she accidentally
Man, a
revealed
lot
that
on
she was
SNL.
lip-syncing when the vocals of Pieces of Me began to play in place of those from Autobiography.
Once again, Ashley Simpson.
Hey, Jude Law.
On a Monday, I'm waiting. Tuesday, I'm
Not knowing what to do, she awkwardly danced off stage and later blamed the band for playing the wrong song.
So not only was she lip-syncing on SNL, which in itself is a big no-no, she proceeded to throw her band under the bus.
Except no one bought this, and Simpson's career was left in tatters.
There's so many other things when it comes to doing your album. There's writing, there's recording, there's marketing, there's styling, there's all these photo shoots.
It's such an exciting time in my life. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Sorry
and that,
about that.
dear viewers, is why you never lip-sync. Do you agree with our picks?
Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe if there's any other videos, top 10s, anything like that. Comment it down below. Follow my other social medias. I greatly appreciate it. When we get to 500 or 1,000 subscribers, followers, we're going to have a giveaway. I'm still working on a schedule for Twitch, but hey, you know what? Peace.